Hello, everybody. Bitcoin today from Mallorca for Mallorca and the whole world. Well, we have something new. We start our daily show with a live cam from the north of Mallorca. And as you can see, people start getting to jump in the sea, and we have beautiful weather. We have about 22 degrees today. Also, the weekend will be very nice. So springtime is really up to come. Wonderful. And, well, just great. So this is about the time to start to talk about the Bitcoin. Well, the thing is, not much happened since yesterday on the Bitcoin side. We will have a look in detail how things go. But in general, there's not much movement. There's a lot of movement on the banking side. Later we will see this. And so I think it's about time to check in the first place financial conditions. And here the thing is, we start always with the 2 years bond and the 10 years bond. And we didn't have the inversion yesterday, but today we have it again. And that shows how nervous the whole market is, actually. We are again on 3.7 on the 2 year, and we are on 3.3 on the 10. So again, 0.4% inverted. That's not good. The whole market is very nervous, and today we will see later. I mean, there's big problems going on with the German banks. I think Deutsche Bank lost today 15%, Commerzbank I think 12%. Later we will have it in the DAX, and we will see there's a lot of problem going on. But before this, we check, like always, CME expectations for the 3rd of May, because as you know, I mean, interest rates is the most important thing, and the prediction, do we have a chop or not? And there's a big change since yesterday. I mean, we have 87% according to CME that we stay on 4.75%, meaning that we reached the top. There is only something like 13% in the market who believes we see another 25 points in May. So that's not bad. That means maybe we get a stabilization. And also I think we have to do it because, I mean, the more we raise the interest, the more banks get problems. And I said it yesterday, by the way, there are about 180 banks in the US who are in trouble with bank run. People transfer their money to bigger banks and that type of thing. Okay, another thing we check on a daily basis, we recently started, is to look in the balance sheet of the Fed. Here we go back in 2008, and you can see how the money supply went. And, well, in the corona crisis, it really went crazy. But you see this little thing here in the end. I just go on a 1 year basis, and here you see, well, they pump really liquidity into the market in the moment. And it was just last night 100 billion again. Before it was 300, so we're talking 400 billion. So there is nothing with about quantitative tightening. This is quantitative easing. They don't tell it. They don't say it's like this. But I think we have to listen to Jerome himself.
Simply flooded the system with money.
Yes, we did. That's another way to think about it. We did.
Where does it come from? Do you just print it?
We print it digitally. So we, as a central bank, we have the ability to create money digitally, and we do that by buying treasury bills or bonds or other government-guaranteed securities, and that actually increases the money supply. We also print actual currency, and we just...
Well, I think that's quite clear when you listen to Jerome. What he's saying is 60 minutes. I mean, they print money, they push the button, and they cannot stop anymore because, I mean, the only chance to save the banks is print money. So the fight against inflation is on the skip because, I mean, they increased, they had 8 steps increasing the interest rates. And now they have a disaster with the banks. And the only way out is printing money. That's basically what it is. All right, so we check live, like every day, the markets. This is quite interesting today because today's Friday. By the way, this is the last video in English for this week. As you know, on Sunday, we make a German video for the German community. But since we work very close with the English radio. By the way, next week I will be for the first time live on Wednesday in the radio, so we concentrate very much on the English side. But on Sunday, we do a German video, and we will do it every Sunday for our community. All right, today, really bad. The market's not Bitcoin. This is why I have a white T-shirt on, otherwise it would be red or green. Bitcoin is very neutral, and gold as well, as we will see later. But the DAX, minus 2.3, Tech DAX, minus 1.6, MDAX, minus 3.1, Eurostoxx, minus 2.3, and now Dow Jones, not so bad, about 0.9, Nasdaq 0.4, S&P 0.8, Nikkei last night 0.9, and the Hang Seng, which is Hong Kong, minus 1.5. Interesting, when you go down and you look on Bitcoin, you see nothing. This is on euro. And the gold price is still going up. We just see 19998. So as we have a share, maybe we reach the $2,000 what we are talking here. So that's quite something. Okay, so another thing is, like always, we check the Fear and Greed Index. Well, we are down. Yesterday we were on 33. Now we are on, as we talk, it just went down from 31 to 30. Nervous market. So we are in the fear region and moving towards the extreme fear. Sentiment not good. Okay, market momentum, S&P 500, still around 4,000 points. That's good. The put and call options, down, but you can see there's a slight increase. People start to get short, but it's not dramatic as far as I see it now. And, well, the volatility is going up. And that's something we have, yesterday we were on 20%. Now we're already on 25%, moving strongly away from the 50-day moving average. So the market is nervous, and this is because of the banks, definitely because of the banks, because the bank system, well, that's the pulse of everything, more or less. Okay, so time to check the news. How to boost mining revenues with Hashrate Marketplace. This is one thing I want to talk today about. A lot of people don't know about this. I mean, especially within the Bitcoin, this is proof of work. Mining is a big thing. And the miners had a lot of problem when the price was down to 15,000, 17,000, or 18 or 20,000, because they have high electricity costs. And yet at the same time, the Bitcoin was very much down because they live from the revenue they get. They do the mining of Bitcoin every 10 minutes. They generate a block, and they have to sell these Bitcoins they generate. In the moment, it's for one block they get 6.25 Bitcoin, and now it depends very much on the price. Electricity, on the other hand, and I mean a lot of them sit in Texas. Electricity very cheap. All over the world, where they go to places with cheap electricity, certainly not in Germany, by the way. Most places in Europe it wouldn't work. But these guys start to make money again. This is a good thing because the price, as we know, went by 70% up. That's good. Okay, something else. Bitcoin erases fat losses as traders eye 40K BTC price target. I mean, this is what we are talking since quite a while. We talk about the 42,000 or 43 or 40,000. This becomes more and more mainstream. So we are not the only one talking about this. That's a good sign. And, well, the reason is pretty simple. I mean, we have a huge banking crisis in the US, in Switzerland, in parts of Europe. Especially in Germany, it starts now with the big banks. Or we only have two big banks, by the way. I mean, we used to have three, now we have two. And one is half state-owned, but we're in big trouble. I saw the stock prices today from Deutsche Bank and Commerzbank, both was about €8. I mean, they are on the way to penny stocks. I mean, this is really bad. Not the Bitcoin, so not bad, I would say. Okay. Now it's time to check the market capitalization like every day in comparison to the global assets. Gold on 1, always on 1, silver on 6. Bitcoin still on 11 like yesterday, slightly up. 546 billion. Gold, well, 13 trillion. There's still a way to go to reach gold, by the way. This is when people say, well, we reach the level of gold. This will still take some time, especially as the gold price goes up as well. This is something else. Okie doke. So, time to check the Bitcoin price on a live basis for hourly. You're sitting on 28, quite stable. We recovered, like 2 days ago, you see this big red candle. This was shortly after the Fed meeting, but we recovered very nicely from this, although there are a lot of problems out there. And there is one thing today I want to show you. A lot of people don't have access to this data, and I want to show you the whole Bitcoin on a weekly base. This is quite interesting because I know you guys don't have access to this information because we have all this database. Everything we do is data-driven. This is basically what we do. All right, you see Bitcoin history on a weekly base. So every candle you see here is a week. It's either red or it's green, meaning the end of a week was up or down. And we see the two tops, which was about $64,000, and the highest was $69,000. And you can see very nice, the low was about $15,000. So this was the long period when the price went down, which is completely normal for the Bitcoin, as we know from our cycle models. The interesting thing is now, when you look at this red line here, I just go here, but you can see it. We are now on a very strong resistant area, meaning when you look in the past, when we came from the 64, we went down to this region. From the 69, we went down, and here we had a big drop down. And that means more or less in the market, and this is not only Bitcoin, this is like every asset, you have support or resistant lines. And this, if you come from the lower end, it's resistance. If you come from a high down, it's support. So this is chart technique, by the way. So that means we are in a very critical area. If we jump ahead of 30,000, because this is the critical thing. If we jump ahead of 30,000, there could be easily the way free to see 35,000 or even 40,000, although later we will see on our model that there will be some consolidation. We don't see more than 42,000 by the end of a cycle. But anyway, so very interesting. Also interesting is to look into the RSI on a weekly base, and you see we're on 65. We are in a way overbought, so there is a good chance that we can see another drop in the price. This is you have to bear in mind. When we check the MACD, just on the downside here, we see that the MACD is above the controlling line. And since 2 months, since 3 months, I mean, we went along here, now we are just above. So everything is sort of on the edge. Be careful. It can go up, but it also can go down. This is what I want to say. And this is really something you have to understand. Okay, now we have to look in the gold price as we talk here. And we do just, we push the button. We push the button to get the actual price, and we go on 6 months. And what do we see? We see 1,998. So we are only $2 away from the 2,000. And this in a day that the whole stock market is more or less in a sell-off mood. That shows people go to safe haven. Bitcoin strong and gold also very strong. Okay, you guys. Now the usual disclaimer comes. We try to help you out there with our information that you can make decisions. We don't give you financial advice. You really have to think about what you do. Please go on our websites. Please check our YouTube channels where there are a lot of good content. There's a lot of good content out in the internet. Just go for it. The more information you have, the less it's likely that you make any mistake. Okay, so now is time to see what's going on in the Bitcoin future. I concentrate only on the topic, and I even take myself away, as you just saw. And by the way, the technology in the studio is getting better from day to day. I have to say thank you to the technical team in the background. This is also something. Our team is also getting bigger and bigger and bigger. That's something else. So, yeah, that's a good thing. Anyway, so we start with the Fear and Greed Index now, just for the crypto, which is basically Bitcoin, but because it's dominated. Yesterday 61, today 61. So it's not like the whole market with 31 we saw just before. No, it's much better. So that's very good, and shows that the market sentiment is in a very good mood. That's great. We see this also on the timeline, that we are still above the 50% area, and we are not really going down. That's good. Okay, another thing we check now is, like always, the heat map. And here we see Bitcoin green. That's good. ETH also green. That's also good. So we just quickly check. Year to date, we are 32% up. That's good. So I think we are 70% up when you go back to the time when we saw the bottom. But anyway, that's very good. Okay. Something else, if you are interested in all this information, just go on the website. This is all interactive. You can play around with this. And this website is getting better from day to day, and you can get a lot of information. Okay, market capitalization is 47%. It's pretty much the same like yesterday. Total market for crypto is still, I think, 1.2 billion or something like that. Okay, another thing we have to look in is the future market. And here we see on the left the longs, on the right we see the green, pretty much equal, a bit more equal than yesterday, so that's quite good. So the market is not so much driven by shorts in the moment. That's okay. All right, Bitcoin rich list is blockchain data. You can check by yourself. Bitcoin loaded addresses, this is the real deal. More than 45 million. This is interesting, by the way. When you look at the bars, it's basically every day 100,000 more wallets. So it's a constant increase on Bitcoin adoption. Addresses dominance has not changed. It's still an elite market. Well, this you can check by yourself. Important, like every day, is what is Google telling us about the search word Bitcoin. We saw quite a nice increase in the last 2-3 weeks. Still it's going up, as you can see here. That's good. So the interest is there. We check the countries like always. And here we have, well, El Salvador, Nigeria, and then Netherlands, Slovenia, Switzerland. It's pretty much the same like yesterday. And then we see Austria, Cyprus, Turkey, Germany, and Belgium. I said already yesterday, the market is driven very much by European people and not so much by the US. Okay, now we come to Bitcoin on a yearly base. Well, we saw the bottom, obviously, hopefully, at least. I mean, you never know. But we see a very nice increase towards the 28 and maybe soon the 30. As I said already yesterday, there is a decoupling taking place with Ethereum on USD. Since this bottom thing here, big discussion about proof of work and proof of stake, and maybe Ethereum is a security. Who knows? According to Gary Gensler, he says everything is a security except Bitcoin, and this is why we always said we only invest in Bitcoin and we concentrate on Bitcoin and nothing else. Well, we not only invest in Bitcoin, by the way, this is a small part of what we do. As you know, we are very broad on the financial market, on the traditional stock market. Bitcoin is just a part of it. But we love it. I mean, we love it. It's a great place to make money. But you have to be careful. I mean, that's what it is. All right, we check the prediction models. We have here the Bollinger Bands and they get wider and wider. Critical thing, I would say, because they will get closer. This is like law. And also we see on the MACD the strong increase and the green bars. Here you can see probably we saw the top. I said the same thing yesterday. This is on daily base, by the way, closing daily. 0 UTC at night. So we are still in the 30% reach. Again, I said it yesterday, the day before, we would not invest now. This is the time to wait and to check what's going on and how things move forward. All right, as I speak about it, the Ammon Bitcoin indicator 200, 26,321. Although we are in the moment on 28, so our AI model, which we created here for 48 hours, says there is a good chance that the price goes down. And here we see the same thing when we go on the cycle model. The yellow box is too big, $5,500 higher than our prediction model based on the next 12 months. It's the same thing. Maybe better to wait to see a drop in price. Also, what you see here, we see a green box over, meaning the price went up, and the yellow box gets bigger. Anyway, the target price is still about 41 in April next year. The other model is interesting because we have the two base cases, like I speak about this every day, and it looks like that maybe the real price, this is also interactive, you can play around when you go on the website, is moving towards the Arbor base trend model. So anyway, both models say in the end it's going to be something like $42,000. All right, you guys, I hope you enjoyed the information. This is the last video for the week, at least in English. As I said, on Sunday we make a German video for our German community, which is also getting bigger. By the way, we have meanwhile on the YouTube channel more than 3,000 followers. It's a great thing. Now, what will come in the upcoming week is that the partnership with Radio 1 will start. I will be, for the first time in the radio, live on Wednesday. It will be always in the morning at 9:30. This is like the early, late breakfast program, because they have information every morning this is for radio, the best time, you start with breakfast up until lunch. This is the time when people listen a lot to radio. So I will be live there, and I will be always for 30 minutes live, so for a long time, longer than here on the video. I will have my iPad with me in the radio station, and I will talk with a guy live about the financial markets, the crypto market, and obviously the Bitcoin. So I'm looking really forward. This is a partnership which is, I think, very good for Radio 1 Mallorca. I told you we have a huge community, not only English. We have Scandinavian people, Norwegian, Danish, Finn, like everybody who speaks English. That's a lot in Mallorca, by the way. So anyway, we will keep you informed about how things go. We will have also a button on our website upcoming week from Radio 1 Mallorca, and because we have web radio as well, so you can listen even to your music. So that's basically what it is. So I wish you a great weekend wherever you are. Hopefully you have good weather. It looks like that we have in Mallorca. And looking forward to see you again on Monday. Have a good day. Thanks and bye-bye.